Bombers players and parents, hope you're having a great week. We're getting set up for our winter camp. A nice long practice we're going to have here coming up this Sunday. Before we get there, however, I want to run you guys through the schedule and the drills that we're going to run to help save us some time and allow us to get more reps in during the practice. We're going to work on 4 different items here within this particular practice. We're going to have a section where we're working strictly on throwing drills. We're going to work on fielding drills. We're going to have a section for base running, and then we're going to get into individual positions. Now, let's break that down. Here's what you're going to see in today's video. We're going to go out to the field. We've got Henry, Orlando, and Dalton. They're going to help show you some of the different drills that we're going to run here on Sunday. That way, when we get out there on the field, you're ready to give them a shot here on your own. Here's those different things. Let's first look at the throwing drills. We're going to have 4 different types of throwing drills that we're going to work on. We're going to work on those short tosses. We're going to work on a quick transfer with the short throw. We're going to work on that medium distance throw from like third to first base type distance. We're going to work on that long distance throw from the outfield, making your way to the infield. Take a break after that one, then we're going to get into our fielding drills. We're going to work on our 5 different ways to field a baseball. Let's remember those. We've got our bare hand, our attacking glove, our backhand, our forehand, and our front and center. That is going to be, of course, with bare hand and attacking glove for a rolling ball, and then the backhand, forehand, and front and center for that hard hit skipping baseball coming our way. We're also going to work on fairly stationary pop flies. That'd be like an outfield fly. And then we're also going to work on a deep fly ball with a drop step as if we're in the outfield. After we take a break after that one, we're about halfway through our day, and then we're going to move our way over to base running. We're going to work on running through first base. We're going to work on judging a baseball, whether it's hitting the air or on the ground, and whether or not we are going to make that run from first base to second base. Once we're on second base, we're not going to have a force to third, so we got to judge the ball, see where it's hit, and make the decision of whether or not we are going to run from second base to third base on a hit ball. And then lastly, when we're on third base, we're going to see that fly ball. We're going to work on tagging and running home to score on a fly ball to the outfield. We're going to finish it up working with some individual positions, so that way we can get some one-on-one time with the position of both yours and or the coach's choice. We're going to have 6 different stations set up. That's going to be from those that need to work on some catching ideas and some different drills for catching. We're going to have some PFP, or that's pitchers fielding practice. We're going to have some guys working on individual skills for first base. We're going to have those middle infielders at shortstop and second base. We're going to get a group over at third base, and then we're going to have some time for the outfielders to get their work in as well. We're going to at least run the individual positions for 2 different groups, and so each player will get a chance to go to 2 of these different stations during the practice. And if we're able to get enough time in, if we're able to conserve enough time, we'll see if we can get a third position out there. And we will let each player know on Sunday which 2 or maybe 3 groups that they're capable of running. Well, let's go ahead and get into it. Let me show you what these drills are going to look like out on the field, and that way, come Sunday, you're ready to jump in there and give them a try yourself.
All right, so one of the first drills that we're going to do in regards to our throwing is our toss. That's going to be our shortest throw that we have. And on this, we're going to make sure we have both hands securely on the baseball, and then as we start to step forward, we sink down and we make a step right towards our target, breaking our hands, and then following through and heading towards our target afterwards. Let's watch Orlando, Henry, and Dalton demonstrate how this drill is going to go. Ready, go. Right to the chest, Dalton. Get those hands out forward to catch them, Henry. Catch that ball out in front. All right, thank you, boys. So one other thing to note, when we're receiving those tosses, we want to make sure we got both hands out in front, ready to receive that toss. We want right here, right into the glove with a quick transfer to our throwing hand, especially if we're attempting to use this toss to start a double play. We really want to get into that quick transfer to that throwing hand, which actually is what we're going to work on next. Okay, the next throw we're going to do is our short throws. something where we're still really close, but it's a little too far for our toss. A little bit more of the medium scale range. And what we're really also going to focus on is a nice quick transfer from the glove to the hand. We're going to focus a little more on the catching side during this drill. How we're going to end up doing this is, instead of receiving the baseball and catching it full on, closing the glove like we normally do, instead we're going to allow the ball to hit the palm of the glove and then quickly transfer right to the glove. So instead of catching with the glove, we're going to use the glove simply to deflect the baseball, slow it down, and funnel it right towards our throwing hand. Watch Orlando and Henry give us a good demonstration. Now the other thing you'll notice is as soon as that catch and transfer is made, slow down between each throws. As soon as that catch and transfer is made, we're immediately turning our hips and our feet towards our target, and we're ready for the next throw. Now that we worked on our short tosses and our short throws, we're now going to progress to that medium, almost long range throw, kind of your third base to first base throw. So you're going to have Orlando over here at third base. He's going to be making throws to first. And what we're also focusing on is our footwork in order to make sure we can generate enough power to make a good strong throw over to first base. You're going to see him take that little pro step, where as he comes up with the ball, he's going to go ankle to ankle, get on his plant foot, and then be able to drive from there with his elbow and arm up the rest of the way. Now for the little guys, Dalton, here's what I want you to do. I want you to take a breath before you start that throw. Your last one you started right at the cone. I want you to pretend that you're fielding that baseball, all right? And after you field that baseball, get that nice big throw step and get all the energy towards first base. Don't sky that baseball. Nice line drive throw. If you can get it there, great, but I would rather it bounce once than you airmail it really high. Ready? Let's see it. Cut down on those steps. I only want one big pro step, okay? Go. Face me. Come forward like you're fielding it first. Gain distance. Better. Get that arm up higher and more straight throw, okay? Okay, now that we got our tosses, our short throws, our medium throws, now we're going to look for that long throw from the outfield. A couple different things we're going to focus on is we're going to start this by either as if we're fielding it on the ground or we're catching this ball in the air with a tagging runner to make the throw. In order to get enough power to get that ball where we need to go, we're going to have a nice big pro step. Once again, that's going to turn our hips ankle to ankle as we shuffle forward to get that momentum moving forward, weight on our back foot, and then be able to drive that ball far distance. Once again, we're not looking for that baseball to be sky high. I'm not trying to get that ball all the way there by launching it really high in the air. I want nice, straight throws, even if it takes a bounce to get there. That way the ball can travel quicker, lower to the ground, and get our cutoff guys a chance to be able to field that baseball. Okay, for our first fielding drill, the first thing we're going to work up is our pop flies. Things to focus on this one is we're looking to get our glove on our chin and our head aimed towards the sky. We want to move our body so our eyes get directly underneath the baseball. So we want to have that baseball in line with our glove, in line with our eyes. That way we have the most accuracy and ability to catch this baseball. Now as that baseball comes in, we do want to work through the baseball, and we want to work slightly upwards to work through that baseball. The last things we want to avoid is we don't want to have our glove open this direction, or we don't want to have it that direction. That will cause the ball either to fall off the top of the baseball glove or down by the pocket. Good. There, nice, good, long, strong voice.
I got that!
Ready, Mr. Dalton?
Got it!
Very good.
That's mine!
Gotta be ready to move those feet. Okay, for our next fielding drill, we're going to work on the drop steps, which is like a fly ball that's going to be over our head. We're going to start in our normal position. We're going to open up either to the left or to the right, coach's preference. Particular way, we're going to take one step backwards to open up the hips. When we're turning, eyes to the sky, following that baseball, looking to make that catch over our shoulder, or get deep enough that we can make the turnaround to catch the ball in front like we did before. All right, our first couple runs, we're going to do this a dry one without any baseballs, just simply work on opening our hips. We're going to go to the left, guys, all right? Let's go to the left. Ready, go!
I got that! That's mine!
Boom, come on back. Ready, go!
I got that! That's mine!
Make the catch. Boom. Come on back. All right, for our next one, let's go ahead and drop to the right twice. Ready, go. Eyes to the sky, make the catch. Come on back. Dalton, don't be watching them. I know you want to see what they're doing. I need you to work on it yourself, all right? Pretend you see a baseball in that sky. You're going to go catch it. It's over your shoulder, all right? Let's go to the right again. Ready, go. Make the catch. Boom. All right, now we're going to incorporate the baseball. Ready, go.
I got that!
Good. Ready, go.
I got that!
Ready, go. Okay, now on this one, we're going to change direction. Exactly, so if we run into that problem again, we know how to fix it. So on this one, we're going to drop step to our left, just like we did before. We're going to run, and then you're going to hear switch. When we hear switch, boom. All right, makes sense? We're going to do this without a baseball the first couple times. Drop. Ready, go. Switch. Ready, 1, 2, go. Hustle, hustle, switch. Good. Make the catch, make the throw. Ready, 1, 2, go. Switch. Ready, 1, 2, go. Switch. Good. Ready, 1, 2, go. Switch. Ready, 1, 2, go. Deep run. Way to get there. Way to adjust. All right, next one we're going to focus on is our standard 5 ways to field a baseball. That is either with a forehand, backhand, or front and center if the ball is skipping. And if the ball is rolling, we're going to do a tacking glove, or if it's slow enough, a bare hand. And of course, the important thing to remember with bare hand is you watch the ball all the way until it's within the hand. Ready? Here we go.
Waiting for July. Waiting for July. So the last thing we're going to do on Sunday is work on a bunch of individual positions. We're going to split up into 6 different groups. We're going to have people working on third base, first base, middle infield, pitcher's fielding practice, catching,
and outfield. And we're going to rotate through those positions, and we're going to have 6 different coaches each teaching about that sole position. The kids will be split up. They won't run through all 6 stations. They're going to be assigned 2. Maybe if we have enough time, we'll be able to get to 3 stations. But we're going to have at least 2 that we're going to run through that you don't yet know which groups you're going to be in, but we'll find those assignments out on Sunday when we get to the camp. So first thing we're going to talk about is third base. Now all the positions, we need to talk about where are we going to position ourselves pre-pitch. Little League level, many people just set up in the same spot every single time. We don't want to do that. We want to adjust based on the situation and based on the hitter. So here's what we have here. We got a bucket to simulate third base. That way it's nice and tall and it's really easy to see on camera. Now we're on an all dirt infield, but we want to simulate that grass line on where we're going to position ourselves. So I put 3 cones down to simulate the grass on the infield versus the dirt on the back side of the infield, so we can learn where to set up. Again, we're not going to just set up in the exact same position every time. The first thing we're going to adjust for is lefty versus righty, right? So if we have a right-handed batter up, which way are they more likely to hit the baseball? Towards the third base side or towards the first base side?
Third base.
Third base side, right? Especially if you get a lot of pull hitters. So when I have a righty batter up, the first thing I want to make sure I know I can do is that I can field any baseball that's going to be fair. It's called hugging the line, right? Now, I don't need to be able to get all the way there, but in a diving scenario on a hard hit baseball, I need to be able to dive, get my glove all the way to the foul line. No matter what, there's no baseball that's going to get in between me and the foul line and stay fair. And if I can't get to it, then that ball's going to end up being foul. Lefty batter, we're not as worried about that so much, are we? Lefty batter, we're going to shift. Now our shortstop is also going to be shifting as well. We don't want them to have a big hole. So a lefty batter, we may end up way over here, right? That makes sense? And we don't have to hug that line as much, because typically any ball that's going to be hit right down the line is going to be something that's soft rolling as they hit off the hand. Even with the lefty batter, I might be more prone to play forward a little bit unless I really know that this batter likes hitting the baseball's opposite direction. But if I'm not sure if they like hitting opposite direction, then most of the baseball is going to come this way on the left-handed batter. Is again going to be off that handle. It's going to be soft rolling, so I might be more tuned to play up a little bit closer to home plate. The next couple ones that we might want to think of is, where are we in the batting order? Are we the first batter who might be a little small, speedy, hit for contact and trying to beat the ball out kind of guy, maybe somebody who bunts for a base hit? Or are we in the middle of the order where we got real big stocky guy that's out there trying to hit a home run? How deep we are, whether we are on this grass line ready to attack, or if we're nice and deep in the hole right here, will depend on the size of the batter. Another thing to think of is there a runner on first? Do I have to make this long throw all the way to first base where I need to be up a little bit closer to give myself that extra shorter distance to first base to complete the throw? Or is there a runner on first where I can just throw the ball to second, which means I can stand far back as I want, and the throwing distance is going to be about the same, about 50 feet all the way to second base. And I don't have to worry about that big long throw. That's another situation to encounter. Lastly, what's the situation? Is there a runner on third that they're really trying to score to tie up a game in a really close ball game, or maybe take the lead where they could possibly attempt for a bunt? Or is there runners on first and second where they might try to bunt the runners over? In that case, if we're thinking bunt situation, now I might be not just toes on the grass, but I might be 1 step or 2 in front of those cones. All those depend on which handed the batter is, the type of batter they are, and the game situation. And those are things to think about, not just at third base, but at any position on the field. Good, very good. Okay, first base is going to be very similar to third base, actually. Whether or not we're forward or back, depending on the situation, the type of hitter it is, also if it's lefty versus righty. Now, first basemen, because they're so prone to want to cover first, they like to really stay close to this base. Now, if we have a right-handed hitter, though, we really want to start to encourage them, especially as we're getting to this age group now in majors, maybe not so much in coach pitch, but in our majors division, to really go ahead and get that distance away from first. And we got to remind them that, hey, that batter has to run 60 feet to get all the way here at first base. Surely you can run the 15 feet here well before and get set up well before that runner can run all 60 feet. And don't hesitate to get out here, because I really want you to cover much of the ground here from first to second, especially if on a right-handed batter that second baseman is pulled closer to that second base bag, or maybe even lined up over top of it if you have a pull hitter and we're shifted heavily to that side and first baseman's kind of out here on an island. Don't be afraid to get that depth and that distance to give you plenty of room. Now, boys, you guys know this one. If I'm a first baseman and I get this depth and I take a ground ball and I field it over here, am I expecting to get all the way to that bag in time before that runner?
So the pitcher's dead, yeah.
No, remember we have a second option running towards first base. We have that pitcher. They're going to be our great utilization as they're hustling over to first base, and we're going to work on that throw to make that nice toss to that pitcher so they can step on first and make the out, and you don't have to. Now, to finish on Sunday, we're going to have our first baseman and our pitchers work together on this toss here as if the ball is hit hard to the first baseman or it's even hit to the first baseman's right side. We're going to encourage them to go after that baseball because we know we have this pitcher covering. Our pitchers are going to be working on coming off the mound off a stable position and covering first base. Now, the important thing here, boys, that I want us to focus on is I want to make sure on this toss pitcher that we are getting it to them nice and early so that way they have the time to catch it, gather themselves, and then step on first. That way they're not trying to step on first and catch the ball at the same time. That's number one. Number two is a fairly firm throw, but let's not make sure it's too hard there because this pitcher's already running full speed over to first base.